Nestled at the foot of snow-capped mountains, there was a tradition every Christmas Eve. At sunset, the villagers would place a single lantern outside their doors, each light flickering warmly in the winter darkness, creating a path that led through the village and out of the forest. The story behind the lanterns went back centuries. Long ago, during a harsh winter, a young traveler had arrived in the village, cold, tired, and hungry. Although it was Christmas Eve, the villagers had little to share because the winter had been unkind, with very little food to go around. But even so, each villager gave what they could: a warm blanket, a bit of bread, a cup of tea, until the traveler was well fed, warm, and grateful. To thank them, the traveler placed a single lantern at the edge of the village, saying, "May this light guide kindness to your doors, as your kindness has guided hope to my heart." And so the villagers had kept the tradition, placing lanterns outside their homes every Christmas Eve as a symbol of welcoming and hope. One Christmas Eve, a young boy named Leo was helping his grandfather light the lantern outside their door. His grandfather, who had always been kind hearted and wise, had told him the story every year. But this time, Leo noticed a thoughtful look on his grandfather's face. "Grandpa, what is it?" Leo asked. The old man smiled faintly. "I was just thinking, Leo, kindness isn't always easy, especially when times are hard. We light these lanterns as a reminder, but I sometimes wonder if we still remember what they mean." Leo thought about it as he watched the other villagers light their lanterns. In recent years, men in the village had struggled, and some were too worried about their own needs to spare a thought for others. Some doors had no lanterns at all, their homes dark and silent. That night, as the village grew still, Leo couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about what his grandfather had said. Suddenly, he had an idea. Quietly, he crept out of bed, put on his coat, and took the lantern from the doorstep. He began walking through the village, the light from the lantern flickering in the frosty air. Leo went to the first dark house and set the lantern by the door. Then he knocked gently, leaving before anyone could open it. One by one, he went to each house without a lantern and left his light there, hoping to share a spark of warmth and kindness. Finally, he arrived at the edge of the village and looked back. The lights from all the doors glowed together, casting a path through the snow. But there in the distance, Leo noticed a small figure struggling through the woods toward the village. As the figure drew closer, he saw it was a young woman, shivering and holding a bundle in her arms. "Are you all right?" Leo called out, running toward her. The woman's voice trembled as she spoke. I, I got lost," she said. "The snow came so quickly and I couldn't find the road. Please, I have my baby with me. He needs warmth." Without a second thought, Leo took off his coat and wrapped it around her shoulders. "Come with me," he said gently. "Our village is just ahead. We'll help you." The woman nodded, her eyes filling with tears. Thank you so much." Leo guided her into the village, and as they approached the square, one by one, the villagers began to emerge from their homes, drawn by the sound of voices and the glow of the lanterns. Seeing the young woman and her child, they rushed forward, bringing blankets, food, and warm smiles. "You are safe now," one of the villagers said as they helped her into a nearby house. "Stay as long as you need." Leo's grandfather stepped forward, placing a hand on Leo's shoulder. "Tonight, you reminded us all of the true spirit of Christmas, Leo," he said softly. "Sometimes we just need one person to relight the flame of kindness in our hearts." Leo looked up at his grandfather, his face glowing with pride. "I think the lanterns did most of the work, Grandpa," he said with a smile. "No," his grandfather replied. "It wasn't the lanterns, it was your heart." As the stars sparkled above, the villagers stayed together, sharing stories, warmth, and laughter. And Leo knew that he had helped bring them closer, rekindling the light of compassion in each of their hearts. Remember, true warmth comes not from the lanterns we light, but from the kindness we share.